I'm announcing as Attorney General that we will be opening an office here in Athens, an office for BCI. One of the main job really of the Attorney General is to help protect Ohio families. And the way we do that is in many different ways. But one way we do that is working with law enforcement. Our job is to help the sheriff, the police, the prosecutors, the coroners protect the public. And we do that in many ways. One of the ways we do it is through BCI, State Crime Lab. Evidence is taken to our lab. We solve about 100 cases a month just on DNA. One of the things that we have done since I became Attorney General is I've traveled a lot around the state and listened to our customers, the police and the prosecutors and the sheriffs. And it was evident that Southeast Ohio was really in need of some help that is closer to home. So this office that we are opening today, or will be opening here in Athens, will join our other offices in London, Richfield, and Bowling Green. And I'd like to detail some of the things that this office will do. First of all, we will have in Athens a full-time polygraph examiner. And let me just kind of share for those who are not in law enforcement the importance of a polygraph examiner. We all know you can't use a polygraph in court, but I will tell you as a former prosecutor, when I was a county prosecuting attorney, we relied on BCI and we relied on the polygraph examiner there in the investigation of cases. Many times you will have a witness, you're not quite sure of the validity of what the witness is saying or the truthfulness. You need to have that witness take a polygraph. Sometimes you do it with suspects who are willing to take it. It's a great investigative tool to point you in the right direction or to show you when you're going in the wrong direction. And one of the concerns that I've heard from this part of the state is they have too far to drive to get to that polygraph examiner. Quite frankly, if you're hot on a case, it's a matter of sometimes getting a polygraph done in hours that will allow you to continue to move forward instead of waiting days or weeks. So having a polygraph examiner here in Athens, I think is going to be very, very significant for not only Athens, but for the surrounding counties. And it's going to really save the time in getting that polygraph done, speed the case up, and ultimately protect the public. The second thing that we will use this office for is evidence receiving. We live in a time in the state of Ohio, I don't have to tell anybody in this room, when money is scarce. And most police agencies around the state are operating today with fewer officers, fewer sheriff's deputies, or fewer police officers than they were a year ago, or than they were 2 years ago. When evidence is brought to our crime lab, it means a police officer or sheriff's deputy has to drive it there. And so if we can put a place to receive this evidence closer to law enforcement, we're saving them a lot of money. It means that they don't have to be on the road 3-4 hours, 5 or 6 hours round trip to get evidence dropped off somewhere. So this will be the second thing that we will use this office for. Third, it will really be the home base for several of our field agents and supervisors. Many times we have people who are on the road, they're working in this part of the state. They need a base. They need someplace to operate out of. And so that will be the third thing that that we will.
Here in Athens. I'll have to say I'm from Marietta, Attorney General, as you know, so I did have some family lobbying
Yes,
for a Marietta office, but Athens seemed to be the right place, so we're delighted to be here. The Attorney General has challenged me and challenged all of our staff to be the very best, to be the benchmark crime lab, the benchmark criminal justice agency of our type in the country. And so that's, we're a service organization, and that means serving our customers, serving our partners, as the Attorney General described. And so this is part of that step, better serving this region of the state. In other ways, he's challenged us specifically in our lab to improve our turnaround time. We here, as I travel around the state, as the Attorney General does, about the length of time it takes to turn around lab results. And so we've got a full court press on in terms of reducing the times of turnaround, particularly in the area of forensic biology and DNA, which is right now 125-day turnaround time. We're going to improve that. We're going to improve that significantly, as well as chemistry and other parts of our lab. So it's all part of our desire to be the very best and to serve our law enforcement partners in the very best way we can, the very most effective way we can. Specifically here, this serves kind of a twofold purpose. First is that, and significantly is that stakeholder here, our partners here. But for us, I heard loud and clear from our staff, and let me have Dave Myers raise your hand, our supervisor, agent supervisor, and our other staff. You guys just give a wave here, and because we
let's get them up here.
Come on up here, guys. Because you guys told me we need space down here, so come on up front, David. You guys all cleaned up and put your ties on and look good, so come on up, but these are the fellows that are going to be, Dave will have an office, a full-time office there here in Athens, and then these gentlemen that oftentimes are working out of their trunks and their cars, or wherever they can find a space, will have a place to hang their hat as well now. So it helps us internally, it helps our law enforcement partners externally. I also hope to use this office as a springboard to enhance our collaborations with Ohio University. I'm pleased that we had Dr. Jackson, and we won't make you come up here, Dr. Jackson, and Dr. Sonia Ron as well from OU and forensic chemistry. Great partners. Dr. Ron was with us all afternoon yesterday. She's serving in an advisory capacity to me as we select a new lab director. So it's nice to have that partnership already in place, but we hope to, again, to use this office here to kind of enhance that. We hire a number of OU grads in our program, and so we hope to expand that as well. So it's just, I think, a good move for BCI, and hopefully a good move. We'll be good neighbors, and we're right across from the FBI office, so we'll keep an eye on each other over there. But they're a valuable partner for us as well, and so it's nice to be right across the hall, literally, from the FBI office here in Athens. So thank you very much.
Tom, for those who are not in law enforcement, who don't know what these folks over here do, you want to give them 60 seconds? Because everybody thinks, many times we think of the Attorney General's office and we think of BCI as just a lab. That's one very significant part, but we have other parts of that office.
No, I appreciate that. We do. We have three main divisions at BCI. One is identification, which was really how we were founded in 1921. That's the automated fingerprints. We're the fingerprint headquarters for the state of Ohio. The Ohio Law Enforcement Gateway. We're kind of the one-stop shop for our cops in terms of data and information through our computer system. So that's identification. The lab I've already referenced. And then these gentlemen work in investigations, and we have crime scene analysts, the folks that show up to that crime scene. We have narcotics officers, special investigations, and this is a busy part of the state, because there is a need in terms of resources that aren't always available to, particularly to some of the smaller law enforcement agencies in Ohio, and particularly in Southeast Ohio. So we have high caseloads here, don't we, David? You remind me of that all the time. And so out of this office, and with Dave's supervision and our narcotics area as well, the marijuana eradication, this will become a kind of a headquarter base for us as we start here in a few months getting serious with our local partners, with the Sheriff's Office and the police departments and in this part of the state for marijuana eradication. As we continue on the Attorney General's prescription drug initiative, this can also serve as a base of operation from time to time there as well. So, but these are some of the finest. I'm just terribly impressed with the work that these gentlemen and their colleagues do. We have the best crime scene people. We have investigators, and I hear it all the time from our law enforcement partners, the skill of the men and women that work in our investigations unit. So I'm real proud of these guys and pleased that they joined us here today as well.